Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So the bike that I'm sitting on is super special, and it's special because there was tons of speculation out there that for 2021 Harley Davidson would not do a Sportster model. Well, obviously that's not true because I'm sitting here on a 2021 Sportster 1200 iron. So what's funny is I've gone back and I've watched a few people's videos now that we know the Sportster is a thing for 2021, and they've now changed their tune to, well, Harley's not going to do a Sportster next year. Now that may be true, I don't know, and I'm not claiming to know. I'm just saying for 2021 we do have a Sportster. The Sportster's been unchanged for a long time. It's classic, it's simple, no frills, a great bike for people that usually don't ride long distances. They want something light, nimble, something to run around town on. It's a great first bike, people just learning to ride a motorcycle or people that are coming from a smaller bike. Now, as far as I know, there will not be an 883 Sportster. I've only seen 1200 so far. That's not saying there won't be an 883, but to my knowledge, I've only seen the 1200s, which to me is fine. When I was doing sales, I would often recommend people that were looking at the 883 go for the 1200. The only difference really is a little bit bigger engine, which as you get more comfortable with riding, as you do more riding, as you start to go a little farther, you're gonna want a little more power. And just like with anything, that power is only there when you ask it to be there. So I mean, for example, most people's car can go 100 miles an hour, doesn't mean it has to. So when I was doing sales, I would always encourage people, go for the 1200, that way you don't get the 883 and grow out of it too quickly.
All right guys, let's get this sporty going. Also, I want to dispel any like common myths that the Sportster has to be a beginner's bike or a girl's bike or whatever. Sportsters are pretty awesome to ride. I was looking forward to this one. I've ridden several bikes today while I'm recording these videos, and I haven't been on a Sportster in a while, so looking forward to this ride. But the gas light is on, as you can see, so do we roll the dice and do the whole test ride loop? One thing to note while we're on that topic is the Sportster, unlike all the rest of the models, does not show you. Yeah, hold on, I was trying to flip through and make sure all the little on-screen options. Yeah, it doesn't show you how many miles you have left until empty, and I didn't look, so this could get fun. Honestly, a little bit worried about that, so we may not do the full test ride. As you can see though, on the Sportster, like, pretty simple on the controls. They look like all the rest of the Harleys. You just have the little speedo in the middle. This red light takes forever, especially like late in the evenings, early mornings and stuff when there's not a lot of traffic. Sometimes, allegedly, I may have to run it because the motorcycle's not big enough to trigger it. Like the sensors in the road, some of them are magnetic, and I guess there's just not enough metal mass on motorcycles, not just the Sportster, but even the big touring bikes don't seem to trigger it. So hopefully we don't have to do that this time. This is a cool color. Usually not crazy about red, not this tone of red, but I think it works on the sporty. And there's not a ton of it, you know, it's mostly black on this bike. So this guy beside me, we're gonna see. Usually when this lane runs out, the lane he just got in, so usually when they get over in that lane, they're gonna try to haul ass and get past you. Nope, don't guess that's the case this time. And I love how narrow these Sportsters are, like so much room for your knees and stuff. The big touring bikes, you know, just kind of forces your legs out. It's just a wide bike, and it has to be, you know, for comfort reasons, you know, the bigger frame. but the Sportster, not the case. These bars, I don't love the look of the bend, but as far as like the where it puts you at, I don't mind this. I'd rather the bars be a little more straight. You see kind of how my hands are bent down at an angle a little bit, but the height and the pullback feels good. I'm gonna chicken out. I have no clue how much gas I have, guys. I'm sorry, we're cutting this test ride short, but I don't want to ruin someone else's day by having to make that call. Hey, can you come get me? Oh, let's stop right here. You never know if they're gonna be watching. Yep. No. I hate when I wave someone on and they're like, no, you go. It's like, I'd rather you just be out of the way so I don't have to worry about it. And I didn't realize this was a cul-de-sac, so now we have to go back by him. Probably one of those people. What are you doing in my neighborhood? Again, my apologies for the shorter test ride, but we do have gas in the back, like you can gas these bikes up at the dealership, but I don't know how buried the gas things are gonna be, so instead of going back and gassing up, we'll just make this a short ride. One thing I did notice on the way down here was the shifter. It's very, when I was commenting on how narrow the bike is, the shifter is set in a lot, and I tend to ride with my feet turned out just a little bit, which is also how I walk. So I have to make a conscious effort to straighten my left foot to find that shifter. The shifter's in a good ways, and then the shift knob on the very end is fairly narrow as well. So I guess you could get a longer one, or I know on like my touring bikes I've put a spacer in the shifter before, but I don't know if this shaft has enough room. I'll check when I get back, but just something I noticed. Well, that was anticlimactic. My apologies. But if you made it this far, please do me a favor. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and do that. And if you don't mind giving me a like, that would help as well. And don't forget that we're doing a giveaway at 100 subscribers. So that will be a $100 Harley Davidson gift card, good for any Harley Davidson dealership. And I got to figure out how to randomly pick one of those winners, but I'll figure that out before we hit 100 subscribers probably. So as always, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.